Hi students, this is Ms. Oberly with our lesson on solving equations that have square roots. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve equations with square roots. So to undo something that is squared, remember we square it. So how do we solve something with a square root? Well, I'm going to start by moving it over here and remembering that we focus in on what we're trying to get alone. And of course we draw our line. What we do to one side we have to do to the other side. So to work on getting this n alone, I first have to undo this square root. So to undo something that is squared, the opposite of something that is square rooted, is to square it. And if we square the left side, we also have to square the right side. So we are left with n plus 9 equals, and 1 squared is like 1 times 1, which is 1. Now, we still don't quite have n alone, so we need to subtract 9 from both sides. So n equals -8. All right, so that's one problem. Let's try another example. How do we undo something that is square rooted to get x alone in this case? Well, to solve this, let's start with our initial setup that's the same for every problem. This one is a little trickier yet because we have x on both sides. To get rid of the square root, we square it, and if we square one side, we have to square the other side. And in this case, that works out well since we have a square root on both sides. We are left with x divided by 10 on the left side and 3x minus 58 on the right side. And, well, let's focus on one side first. Let's focus on this side. To undo division by 10, we're going to multiply by 10. And if I do it to the left side, I also have to do it to the entire right side, which is why I put parentheses in. So now we are left with x equals, and I'm going to distribute this 10 to both terms, so that's 30x minus 580. And we need to get all the x's to one side, so I'm going to subtract 30x from both sides. And remember, this is like a 1x, so we have negative 29x equals negative 580. And finally, to get x alone, we need to divide by negative 29. And that means x equals 20.